Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to another build day. We are building our heart rate today. It is build number 18, so you will need a jump rope, or you can pretend, as always. I know that that's worked well for many people, many of you in the past. So we're going to be hitting up jump ropes, and we're going to be hitting up some squat thrusts, and we're going to get a little bit of core thrown in there as well. But for now, let's go ahead and just kind of get some warm up going, moving through the legs. Grab your knee, find some balance, and rotate your foot one direction and another, one direction and another. Lift up that chest, find your balance. Okay, take that same leg that you have lifted, cross it over your opposite knee, and then we're going to sit down, pushing into a little figure four squat. Make sure that that foot that's lifted is flexed back. Take a little stand. We're going to sit right back down into it. Perfect. Lengthen through the back, grab through the core, and then we'll switch to the other side. Hug that other knee in nice and high. Rotate your ankle around one direction and then the other. Keep that going. Force that supporting leg to have to work a little bit. Find that balance. Okay, and then cross your leg over. Pull the toe back. Sit back and down. Find that figure four. Okay, come up out of there. Perfect. So let's go into a downward facing dog. Onto the hands. Drive your legs back. Slide your shoulder blades down. Belly locks in. Bring the chest forward. Contract into your core. Hold your plank. Tuck your left knee to the right elbow. Right knee to the left elbow. Push back into your down dog. Lift your left leg up nice and high. Lift your right leg up nice and high. Grab deep into the core. Pull the chest forward again. Left knee to right elbow. Right knee to left. Push back. Left leg up. And then your right leg up. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and widen your feet a little bit. Push into those hands to keep your chest up and the hips back. And then I'm going to have you tap the opposite leg with opposite hand. Let's hit up at 10 each side. Here's 2, 3, 4. Stay relaxed through the neck. Shoulders engage in the back. The belly, get that stretch through the backs of the legs. 9 and 10. All right, drop onto your hands and knees. Let's go through some cat-cow. Inhale, push your chest forward. Really slide those shoulder blades down. Get some activation through the back, the core, root through the hands, tuck through the tailbone, belly button draws up. Really push into your breath with the movement. See how much heat you can build in the low belly as you round. Perfect. Come to a neutral spine. Hinge those hips left and right. I always like to get a nice big pull and stretch and opening through that low back. Check in there. Push back into your downward facing dog. Stretch through those calves one more time. We're going to need that as our time progresses. All right, so we are going to start off with a little bit of a warm up into our heart rate range. We're going to hit 20 of each. We're going to do just a body weight squat. So grab deep into the core, hinge those hips back and down, drive up through those heels. 4, 5, 6. Work your pace. Don't have to worry about any weight. From here, we're going to go straight into jumping jacks. If at any point you don't want to jump, just go through the motions, keeping everything on the ground. 2, 3, so it look like this. (18, 19, 20). We're going to do a knee jab, so take one leg back and then jab it up into your elbows. 3, 4, 8. Lock into that core. 17, 18, 20. Other side. Extend and jab. 15, drive to that front heel. 18, 19, 20. I'm always surprised how those get my heart rate up. Okay, let's see. Last one. High knees. Just run those knees up in place. 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Take a little stretch over those legs. Come up. Take a little twist through the upper back. And then we're going to gear up with our timed sets. So each round is going to be 5 minutes. We have 3 minutes of a jump rope, 1 minute of a bicycle crunch, no transition time, and then 1 minute of a squat thrust. So jump rope, if you're not jumping rope, just pretend, get that pace going. Bicycle, lie on the ground, rest head and hands, crunching opposite knee to elbow. In fact, if you don't crunch, sometimes it's not super great for some people's head, neck situation, what they have going on with their joints and ligaments, bones in that upper shoulders and neck. So you can just do a standing crunch here if you'd like. And then we're going to do a squat thrust. So plant your hands, jump back, jump in, jump up. So we've talked through alternates, but just in case you've forgotten, you can always plant your hands, walk back, walk in, and then stand up. You can also do a hinge and jump. So you reach toward the ground and jump, hinge and jump. So kind of decide what works for you within that. Find the challenge we're trying to build. Keep yourself going and have fun in the process. It's all about coming back tomorrow, but feeling like you're progressing and getting further along. All right, 3 minutes of a jump rope first. Ready, set, and go. So we have our timer on a minute cycle. So you'll be able to find her here every minute. So when you hear the first timer, it's just going to be at a minute so far. We don't have to count unless you'd like to see how many you can get in your minutes. But otherwise, take that scan of the body, check in, notice how you're feeling. What's going on with the toes, the feet, the calves, the core. Always checking that pelvis and core. There's 1 minute. You can always switch things up a bit too. If you'd like to try to hop on one foot. Keep it on both. Find a pace that pushes you, but that you can mostly maintain. 1 minute to go. Remember, we're building heart rate. It's our goal. Getting that heart rate up, keeping it there for a bit. "20 seconds. Don't forget, we want to stay strong in that core. Lift up that chest. Roll your shoulders back and down. Time. All right, lie on your mat real quick. Rest head and hands on a bicycle. Nice and quick. So we still want to get that heart rate to stay pumping. Flex into the core. Push those legs out as straight as possible, one side to the other. Feel like you're scooping through the front of the belly, pushing the low back into the ground. Shouldn't feel pressure on your neck. Time. Okay, squat the rest. Go as fast as you'd like. The goal is just to maintain the minute. We're not breaking because we're not doing intervals. We're just finding a solid rate that we can maintain. Double check the core. As you jump back, make sure the hips aren't sagging to the ground. All right, there's one round. Good heart rate range. We should be breathing heavier, but able to sustain and maintain. And what that heart rate is will be a little different for each of us. If you're interested to try to find what that heart rate range is, you can use your watch if it gives you the readout. I usually still check, just because my last watch, 1 minute to go, was always off. So definitely worth it to Count your beats per minute too. Make sure you're keeping that core strong. Dang it. My gosh. Open that chest. Come on, it's time. All right. Let's hit up those bicycles. Here we go. Get into the core. Keep that heart rate pumping. You got it. Come on, flex deep. Find that flexion. Get that big crossover. Elbow to knee. Tighten deeper into that core. The lower your foot goes toward the ground, then the more difficult it is to keep your low back on the ground. Make sure that you land with the shoulders right on top of the wrist. Find your pace that you can sustain. Keep the core locked. Time. One final set. Five minutes to go. Man, I think I'm in my head these days. My whole jumping rope messing up. 1 minute. Do something a little different. It's okay. You know what? Fun to try new things. Switching back. Here we go. Woohoo! Off to the races. Heart's still pumping. That's what matters. Getting that heat on. One minute to go. You never mess up. Not pushing fast enough. Challenge your momentum. Challenge your pace. Jeez. Come on, come on. All right. Got beat up that round. Hey, 9 minutes of jumping rope. Not that bad. So if you struggle to keep your low back on the ground, you can push your legs higher up. Push and pull, twist side to side. Keep the core locked in. Come on, get that pace going. It's our last set. Force that heart rate to stay pumping. Stay in the moment. Right here, 1 rep at a time. All right, squat throws. Feel your elbows kind of point back toward toes. That'll help. Grab the triceps and back. Come on, push it. Final push. This is our finish. Time. Woo. Nice job. Nice job. All right. Walk it out a little. Woo. Good work. Good work. All right. Okay, we're going to finish how we started. Let the heart rate kind of come back down. So 20 squats, jumping jacks, knee jabs, and high knees. Lock in. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feels good to get that stretch into the calves. 14. Try to sit all the way. 18, 19, 20. Nineteen, 20. Reach, tuck. Halfway. 18, 19, 20. Put some oomph into your jab. 10. 18, 19, 20. High knees. 17, 18, 20. Well done. Okay, start on your knees with your toes turned under. We're going to sit back on those heels. So you should feel stretch through the bottom of the feet. Little through your calves. All right, and then from here, see if you can reach down onto the ground with your hands. Push your hips up. So you're going to open those hip flexors, stretch the quads, or you can try reaching for the backs of your heels and pushing forward. So tuck your tailbone under. Make sure you don't overarch the back. Slide those shoulder blades down. Open the chest. Roll the shoulder heads back. I like to keep my chin tucked in, but you can also see what it feels like, how you like it. If you let your head go back, drop those hips. Okay, and then let's get the calves. Push up into your downward facing dog. Drop your right heel to the ground. Wrap your left foot around the heel. Bend your knee a bit and straighten. Bend and straighten. I'm going to keep the jump rope coming back around. I think it's such a useful tool, especially for a small space. We are currently in a colder time of year. Drop that heel, other side. A little bend, a little straighten. So, getting the sweat on, the heart rate up. Maybe you're not as motivated to go outdoors and run or cycle or swim. So it's a good opportunity to, push both feet into the ground. Good opportunity to, increase your skills. Jump roping, as we all saw. Bring your leg forward for your pigeon. I was struggling a bit today. I've had some of those moments recently. I can't figure out if it's just me. Could be the rope I end up grabbing. I have all sorts of different lengths. So I need to mark one. I have my special rope, K on it. I've been using a weighted jump rope. If you're going to go out and buy a jump rope and you're trying to decide which one, this one that I've been using and struggling with, I think you get like 2 or 3 for $8-ish. But there's also a more expensive weighted rope. So the handles themselves aren't weighted, but the rope. And that will definitely increase what's going on with your back and your shoulders, your forearms, your heart rate. So then you can customize the length. All right, bring that right foot out. Let's get our inner thigh on that right side. You'll feel a little bit on the hip flexor on that back left hip. Just kind of shimmy your hips around a bit. And then hinge back, toes come up. Heart rate build is always a good idea. Keep the heart happy and healthy. Get that sweat on. Hopefully get rid of a few toxins in the process. All right, let's go back to that down dog, and then we'll bring the other leg forward for our pigeon. Stretch through those calves again, and then bring your leg forward. I think there's a extra set of endorphins that you can kind of hit and enjoy when you get a good sweat. High heart rate also. I don't know, it's all just different. Hitting weights or body weight or something a little more cardiovascular. Or I was going to tell you, you can always track your heart rate, get your heart rate. So by now ours is definitely dropped. But when you're done with a jump rope set, like 1 to 3 minutes, immediately stop everything and grab your heart rate. So you can count for all 60 seconds, or you can do 15-second intervals and 15 seconds of counting multiplied by 4, or 20 seconds multiplied by 3. And you can kind of gauge what your training heart rate range is. All right, push into your hands. Let's bring that foot out and then hunker back inside that leg. So there's, super high intensity heart rate. And that one you really can only hold for, 10-ish seconds, maybe 20 at the most. That's super high. And then from there, you kind of just drop back a little bit, and that's your training heart rate. There's also kind of a generalized equation, hinge back, get that hamstring. So you do 220 minus your age. Now, once you kind of get over 45, 50, and depending on how fit you are, how strong your heart, how much cardio you do, that equation doesn't really work anymore. So I always like to just kind of test myself, go for a couple sprints. Not really your first one, sprint, walk or jog back, sprint, walk or jog back, or do the jump rope. And then about your third or fourth minute is when you push your hardest, and you can kind of gauge how you feel. Are you close to puking? That's at the very top of your range. Is your heart rate really high, but you still feel okay? That might be the range you want to push for. And then it's just kind of fun knowledge, especially if you have the little heart rate monitors or watches. But you should really be able to get good at self-acknowledgement of how hard you're working. All right. Fantastic job. I look forward to doing it all over again. Not the same set, but more work tomorrow with you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, as always, for joining me.